Another question has come up concerning the general judgment. Let me read this one. Finally, if you please, if we are saved in Christ, what are we judged on that great day? That is to say, was Christ's atoning sacrifice insufficient for the salvation of all mankind? Okay, so in other words, why do we have the general judgment? Okay, Christ's atonement was sufficient for the salvation of all mankind. There's no question about that. But do we cooperate? Christ will not save us if we will not let him. Okay, now let's get to the general judgment. Why do we have the general judgment? The general judgment comes at the end of time for several reasons. First of all, we will see God's justice and mercy, and just how just and merciful he's been to each and every one of us, and how just his judgment has been on someone. We'll know he was absolutely just in sending this person to hell, this person to purgatory, and this other person straight to heaven. We will see the beauty of his justice and his judgment, how wise it is. So the general judgment is first for his greater honor and glory. Secondly, in our own cases, now of course God knows what will happen, but I don't. All right, let us say I died and was judged right now. Okay, that's called the particular judgment. I'll get my sentence or my reward, heaven, if I'm in the state of grace and removed all obstacles to that trip. Purgatory, if I have at least repented of all my mortal sins, but have not completed the necessary penance required of me. Then hell, if I have unrepented mortal sins. But that's only part of the equation. My actions will have consequences past my death. Yours will. Everyone's usually does. Okay? And so the general judgment is to show and to accommodate for that matter, for that consequences of my actions. Okay, right now I'm making a video. Presuming that a century from now we have technology, someone could watch this video. It either could be to their benefit or to their detriment. Okay? All of my actions have consequences, not only here and now, but into the future. We'll take a look at a parent who is a bad parent, who's not raising his or her children properly. And there's a lot of that happening. Okay. Now, his children, let's just say they all go to rot. 2, 3, whatever. Okay. They have children out of wedlock, or else they get into marriages, and they're no better than their parent. Okay. So now we have the generation of grandchildren. Okay. And then the grandchildren do the same thing. Okay, and it perpetuates great-grandchildren, great-great-grandchildren. This evil can go down to the end of time, obviously. And this parent who started the evil, the 10 generations down, the evil child who is corrupting his own children, may not even know the name of the one who started this whole line of evil. And yet, this person who started it is responsible. Okay? And the only thing that helps is if some miracle intervenes and breaks the cycle. Then there just won't be those sins that this person will be responsible for. He's not responsible for their salvation because he didn't do anything to bring this about. Okay? So our actions have consequences. My videos, my books, my blog posts, my actions, how I relate to my fellow man, my people around me. Everything has consequences. I have errands to run later on today. I will encounter people. I will either be an object of good in their lives or an object of evil. Okay? It can be a small thing, but let's say I make a good example, all right? I give a good example. We can take that same parent. He raises his children properly, and they all three come out good. And they raise their children properly, and grandchildren come out good for the most part. Now, true, you may have one go bad in spite of what you do, but if you cause by your neglect, you'll be judged. But if you cause by your good example, good to come forth, and then you will receive greater reward for that. And that's what the general judgment is about. So we can see why people are where they're at, heaven or hell at that point, because purgatory will have shut down, as we just discussed in a separate video. And so the general judgment is for the greater honor and glory of God, not just because of our salvation. We will see how just He is, far more just than we could ever think of being. And with that, I'll give you a blessing. Benedictio omnipotentis, Patris et Filii Spiritus Sancti, Shen super Main semper. Amen. God bless you all, and I hope to see you in heaven after the general judgment.